Welcome to the Cyber Notes Cast. I'm Sophia, the artificial intelligence of Senhasegura. Join me as we delve into the world of cybersecurity in this podcast by Senhasegura. In each episode, we bring you audio versions of our reports that were originally published as text. And today, in this special issue, I'm going to read to you our ebook on the topic How Much Does It Cost to Implement a PAM Solution? Was our content relevant to you? Then share it with someone also interested in the topic. Introduction. PAM is crucial for the proper management of privileged access risks. In times of increasing cyberattacks on companies of all verticals and sizes, implementing projects to ensure the security of the infrastructure and the data stored on it is crucial for business continuity. And the implementation of privileged access management (PAM) solutions should be one of the main projects to be considered by CISOs and information security teams. It is no wonder that Gartner has chosen PAM as the #1 security project for 2 years in a row. Also, Gartner believes that managing privileged access risks is impossible without PAM tools and that this process can be complete and expensive, both in terms of time and culture. Licensing costs are only part of the PAM deployment project. However, considering only the price of the software when implementing a PAM solution does not mean the best cost-benefit for a company. This is because there are some hidden costs in this type of project, and they involve much more than just the necessary licenses for its operation. And it is very important to consider and calculate these costs to avoid surprises during or after deploying the PAM solution. These costs are what we call the total cost of ownership, or TCO. Thus, this document will present the main factors and costs that must be considered when calculating TCO and acquiring and implementing PAM in your company. We will also explain why Senhasegura has the best TCO on the market. Costs that should be considered when calculating TCO. Licensing costs. Recommendation: always choose a single platform that meets all use cases instead of purchasing multiple solutions. In this aspect, the licensing costs of the solutions to be implemented are involved, considering all the use cases mapped by the information security team. The main features to be considered in PAM solutions are account discovery and activation, integration with adjacent systems, ease of deployment and scalability, just-in-time methods, records and reporting, privileged access governance, privileged credential management, elevation and delegation of privileges, privileged session management, privileged task automation, secret management. Source: Buyer's Guide for Privileged Access Management, Gartner, 2021. After defining the use cases and PAM requirements according to the organization's needs, security officers must assess whether the solutions meet all defined requirements. This happens because, if the chosen vendor does not meet all use cases, it will be necessary to purchase other solutions, which will consequently increase the costs of implementing PAM. Likewise, one must evaluate the policies and costs of updating and expanding the solution's functionalities with the PAM vendors, including user training. The Senhasegura modules are fully integrated. Senhasegura is a full-stack platform that, according to Gartner, covers the entire privileged access lifecycle through a holistic perspective, bringing maximum adherence to PAM requirements. All of its modules are integrated natively, meeting all the needs considered by Gartner and allowing the lowest TCO in the market. New modules to be launched can be easily added in the PAM deployment, offering maximum scalability for the solution. As these new modules are based on excellent simplicity and user experience, lower implementation and training costs are required. Infrastructure costs. Recommendation: assess infrastructure requirements when choosing your PAM solution. Infrastructure costs are important and must be considered by the security teams when implementing a privileged access management solution, mainly for on-premises deployment models. Most PAM vendors require complex supporting infrastructure, with additional virtual machines for each of the PAM solution's components, such as the password vault and web servers. The consequence is higher costs for implementation, training, and maintenance. Senhasegura is offered in a virtual machine format, with all these components embedded in the solution, and can be deployed in the main virtualization and cloud environments from the market. Senhasegura is the only PAM tool to offer a hardware solution for deployment. In addition, Senhasagura is the only PAM vendor that offers a hardware turnkey solution for implementing the platform, called PAM Crypto Appliance. Designed and configured exclusively for the implementation of Senhasagura, hardware appliances offer advanced security features, such as protection against physical tampering of the device, protection of the encryption key in hardware, asymmetric key storage, embedded HSM, TPM module, power supplies and redundant hard drives. By opting for Senhasagura's hardware appliances, one can achieve compliance with physical security and performance requirements, in addition to simplifying the solution deployment process. Considering a high availability and disaster recovery environment, while one of our main competitors needs 64 servers for deployment, only 6 are required to use Senhasagura, a reduction of more than 90%. This reduces not only deployment and maintenance costs, but also time and complexity. Senhasagura's architecture. Senhasagura's PAM server contemplates in a single architecture, password vault, web interface, remote session management, privileged task management, PTA, elevation and delegation of privileges, DevOps secret management, certificate management. The architecture of other vendors needs to add architectures by combining them, such as Password Vault Plus, Policy Management Plus, Remote Session Management Plus, Web Server. Recommendation: assess the need and costs of professional services for activities associated with the PAM solution. Professional services can considerably increase the cost of implementing PAM. Many PAM solution implementations depend on professional services not only during the definition of a PAM program and its deployment, customization, and configuration but also at the time of security updates and expansion of features. Depending on the architecture of the PAM solution deployed and the managed infrastructure, it is necessary to hire professional services to perform activities such as implementations, integrations, updates, and customizations, which can considerably increase the associated costs. The initial configuration of Senhasagura is carried out through intuitive wizards in a matter of minutes, also considering a scenario of high availability and disaster recovery, as well as backup. Importing devices and credentials is done quickly through the renowned scan discovery capability, which scans the environment continuously and automatically imports devices and credentials, reducing deployment time and costs. Senhasagura's plugins and out-of-the-box templates allow reducing customization costs. Moreover, Senhasagura offers built-in plugins and out-of-the-box templates for discovering and managing devices and credentials, including legacy ones. The templates used by Senhasagura are open source, allowing security teams to configure and add new templates without depending on professional services or the support team, thus reducing the related costs. New templates are added daily to the PAM Solution Center, our knowledge base, by our customers, partners, and technical support team. Thus, it is possible to guarantee maximum compatibility with complex and heterogeneous infrastructures. Senhasagura's update process can also be performed online through a mirror, without the need for professional services. In the case of deployments where Senhasagura does not have communication with the internet, it is possible to obtain the file and perform the installation process offline. Supporting technology costs. Recommendation: all-in-one solutions have lower implementation and maintenance costs. Senhasagura is all-in-one and ready to use. While other PAM vendors require the purchase of additional software, such as databases, operating systems, and high availability and load balancing technologies, Senhasagura is all-in-one, that is, it has all these components embedded in the solution, ready for use. This means that all the components required to use the tool run on the same server, without the need for any additional licensing. Senhasagura's PAM server contemplates operating system, database, clustering, multi-tenancy, HTTP server, high availability/disaster recovery, advanced security controls. Supporting technology costs. Recommendation: consider team size and associated training costs. We have already seen that deploying a PAM solution can be a difficult and complex task. Thus, the human resources required not only for implementation but also for the tool operation must be considered when calculating the project costs. As they are not modular or integrated, some PAM solutions require more training time for the team of users and administrators, which results in higher operational costs. Depending on the solution's architecture, it is necessary to hire professional services to perform relatively simple activities, such as developing a connector for changing passwords or updating the tool. For Senhasagura, implementing PAM should not be a burden for security teams. According to the reviews at Gartner Peer Insights, our customers consider that Senhasagura has a user-friendly interface and excellent user experience (UX), making it easier for users and administrators of the tool to perform activities. Therefore, it is possible to accelerate the process of PAM deployment, reducing the training costs for operating the tool. Deploying PAM does not have to be a burden for your company. Senhasagura offers the lowest TCO from the PAM market. The wrong choice of a PAM vendor can lead to low adherence and support from users, slowing the process for years without ever reaching the maximum maturity in privileged access management. The project to implement a PAM solution may end up in a long list of additional resources, including the necessary technologies and resources that were not considered by the security teams. To know exactly the costs associated with the implementation of PAM and to make sure which one offers the lowest TCO, you can always count on the team of experts from Senhasagura. Request a demo now. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to seeing you in the next Cyber Notes cast.